I'm Brian, and that's Jeremy. Every week on PSVR,
This week,
we take a look at the new VR games that are coming to the PlayStation Store this week.
we gather up all the trailers we can find, all the descriptions we can plagiarize, and we condense them down into this short video for you.
Sometimes we look at delayed games, updates, delays, or new game announcements.
So without further ado, here's PSVR This Week.
You wake up alone in the storeroom to find that the mansion you've been living in with your father and younger sister is somewhat different than it used to be. A text message from a mysterious number makes you even more confused. Immerse yourself in a story about a psychological disorder. Traverse over 20 rooms in the mansion with plenty of puzzles to solve and secrets to discover, all while taking in the atmospheric environments and soundtrack. The initial release of Blind Spot will contain 2 chapters, while the final chapter will be released as free DLC after launch. Spooky and her mansion of creepy cuties are back in Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion HD renovation. Can you survive 1,000 rooms of adorable terror, or will you break once the cute facade dissolves and you find yourself running for your life from the unspeakable, hideous creatures that dwell and write in the bowels of this house? Originally a free-to-play game on PC, this HD renovation has taken the Jump Scare Mansion into a polished new game engine with more options and refinements than ever. And while you could play the entire game on a flat screen, why would you? Imagine drawing in 3D space with a large collection of brushes, primitive shapes, tubes, particles, and other stunning effects, all while being lost in your own creative universe. Cool Painter VR originally came out in May of last year, but this week the new Cool Painter VR Deluxe Edition will contain the base game, along with the recent voxel DLC and some exciting unrevealed digital content. And for all you PSVR physical game junkies, Cool Painter VR Deluxe is also getting a retail release by our friends over at Perp Games. Your eyes begin to adjust to the darkness, and you find yourself in a room that's never been seen before. You go to stand, but are barely able to move. You look down and find that your arms and legs are strapped to a wheelchair. As the panic begins to set in, you catch a glimpse of a figure out of the corner of your eye. A young girl, standing in the darkness, stares at you with cold eyes. Last Labyrinth has a lot to live up to, having a ton of industry veterans attached to the project. But it won't be long before we finally get to experience this escape room puzzle game for ourselves, as it recently got revealed that Last Labyrinth now has a November 13th release date. Honor & Duty All-Out War is the compilation of the soon-to-be-released remaster of Honor & Duty Arcade Edition and the 16v16 sequel Honor & Duty D-Day being released physically by Perp Games. Every new map, patch, and update will be found complete on the disc, and as far as PSVR multiplayer games go, D-Day is a lot of fun. Make sure you join our Discord if you're finding empty lobbies, because we're always down to get a game going, especially with the newly added map for Halloween, the Spooky Castle. There are always a ton of PlayStation VR rumors circulating, and sometimes it can be tough to nail down the source or accuracy, so we try to tread carefully to avoid spreading untruths or doing anything that even remotely resembles clickbait. But after a bit of research, we've discovered that the two rumors we dug up this week are definitely based in fact. The first is speculation on a Horizon Zero Dawn VR game, which started because VR industry veteran Callum Hurley tweeted a pretty blatant leak about Sony's London studio working on a VR game, saying that an announcement could be on the horizon, with a capital H. In the days that followed, media outlets picked up the story to Callum's inexplicable surprise, to which he clarified that he knows and trusts the person who playtested the game and looks forward to the inevitable announcement. This whole story seems totally legit, but personally I'm betting on it being a PS5 game, because with the exception of it being a VR experience like The Last Guardian, the current hardware probably wouldn't do justice to Horizon's beautiful open world. But who knows, Skyrim VR and No Man's Sky Beyond are getting the job done admirably on current-gen hardware, so anything's possible. And the other rumor is that Reiko's Fragments might be in development for PlayStation VR. For the uninitiated, Reiko's Fragments has you in VR attempting to escape a haunted house, a vengeful ghost, and even worse, up to 8 friends playing on their cell phones as spirits who have full control over the house. The concept is incredible and definitely one of the many terrifying PC VR games I'm dying to play over here in PSVR land. And after getting multiple emails and comments about a potential port, I've reached out to developer Pixel Canvas Studios, who confirmed that they are indeed exploring the possibility of bringing their game over. And of course, if and when they have more to say, we'll be all over this one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of PSVR
This week. We'll be back next week to tell you about all the VR games coming to the PlayStation Store.
But keep in mind that no one outside of Sony really knows what games are coming when.
But we'll do our best to keep you up to date each and every week on PSVR This Week.